Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy DT3, man, and I'm back at you with another video, man. New media, notification gang. God Squad. That's what it is, man. Look, let me tell you this right now, man. Loma, I love you. I do. I got mad love and respect for you. But you cannot beat Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson. It's not going to happen. Your best bet is to wait for Devin Haney to move up, vacate the belts, move his ass up to 140, and then you get a belt, do your thug thing that way. Maybe even become undisputed, get that, hopefully, depending on how Shakur finna do his shit, and then go from there. And I think if you are able to get undisputed, retire. Like, once you win that shit, retire. Like, I don't care if you reign and defend it. That don't matter to me. If you do it, cool. I respect it even more. But for me, it's not a requirement based on your career and what you've done and all that, and even your amateur career, which is second to none, for real. Just your whole boxing career as a whole. I respect what you've done at this point, and especially if you achieve undisputed in your right division at 135. I respect that. I'm not mad at that. But I think you should retire shortly thereafter you win that shit. If you win that shit. Now, you cannot beat Devin Haney. Just looking at how your last fight against this Ortiz nigga who nobody knew no fucks or nothing about. And you showed your prowess. You showed that you still Loma in a sense of a lot of people can win rounds with you early, but they can't maintain that throughout. And if they can't maintain that throughout, you gonna take over the fight from the mid to late rounds. It's just you. That's Loma. You gotta know that. You gotta see that coming. But a fighter like Devin Haney, you not gonna want to fight that kind of fight with a dude like that. Not with Devin or Shakur. Shakur don't got no problem being in the pocket with you, and you get hit, bro. Like Loma, like your defense is kind of bad, actually. To be honest with you, I give you got good feet. Like, you can move well. You got good gas. You got good stamina. You got good endurance. Like, it's hard to have a higher motor than you. I give you that. You and Usyk. I give y'all that shit. But you still get hit, cuz. And the way Ortiz, he was touching you to fuck up. And Devin is a little more accurate. He gonna wait for his shots more with you. He not gonna throw aimlessly, kind of like Ortiz did. I think Ortiz was kind of caught up in the moment a little bit when he was in there with you. Still did good for where he was at, but I think in certain moments he was caught up in the moment because he was in there with you. And I don't think Devin gonna have that problem. You know what I'm saying? But I think even though the fact I think Ortiz was a little too caught up in the moment fighting you, I still think he did pretty good. And he showed, in a sense, what I saw when you fought Teofimo, is that when you were worried about too much and you wait too long, especially if you don't already have enough information about who you fighting. And I think the reason why you was doing what you were doing against previous opponents was because you had so much information about them. You knew so much about them that you could do what you did with them. And I think when you got in there with Teo, you already knew Teo was a bigger dude. He got pop. He was a strong guy, and you couldn't do certain shit with him that you was doing with other fighters. You couldn't make those certain mistakes, or Teo was going to make you pay for them. And so in that sense, you fought a smart fight, but you took too long to turn up. So either way, that's why you lost that fight against Teofimo Lopez. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Devin Haney, except I think Devin is going to be a little more prestigious about it in a sense. He's going to try to be more accurate about his shots. He's going to look to catch you with way more accurate shots than Teofimo did. Meaning, I think, because the punch that's there to really hurt you is the uppercut. It's there. Gyms, holla at your boy. Tell me if I'm lying, because that's what I be seeing when I watch this motherfucker fight. I be seeing that right uppercut be right there because he stay in that high guard and he do that little movement and shit with his legs because his defense is not in his head movement. It's not in his head movement. It's in his legs. he uses his legs. If you watch him, he'll come in with his legs. And he'll dip with his legs. He uses his legs lovely. I don't take nothing away from that. But his defense is not in head movement, being slick. Sweet Pea is the perfect person, in my opinion, to use that people can readily identify with, that actually used his legs and his head at the same time. Like, he was able to use his legs, get really low, and use his head at the same time. He's a perfect person to, basically, as an example, what I mean when I say he uses his head, you feel me, with his legs. He don't just uses his legs, or he don't just use his head. Devin more so uses his head or his waist movement. It's kind of hard to explain because I gotta really more so show you, and I'm kind of fucking up the camera shit trying to do too much. But mainly with Loma, he don't use his head. He uses his legs when he moves and shit, when he uses it for his defense. His feet in to get out the way with his legs. And once he sees that he cannot do that as often as he might want to, because you take that angle away from him, or you making him pay for trying to force that angle, then he's stuck in a pocket with you and he has to try to figure out your timing and all that extra shit that I'm not finna go into. You have to go to boxing gyms for shit like that. But with Devin, if he stay there in the pocket like he did with Ortiz, that right uppercut is there. I mean, it's there. And I mean, like, all night. Because even if you stay with him early and you throw in your combinations, you hit him up, you could set that uppercut, because he gonna dip right into that bitch. Once you start throwing constant, like, straight punches and hooks, and he see that and he thinks that that's your game, he gonna dip. And all you gotta do is, like, feint him and make him dip and throw the uppercut. He gonna go right into it. I think Tank could catch him cool with that if he knew how, when to time it or whatever. But I think Devin, because he's naturally right-handed, could get him with that. And I think Shakur would get him because he throw uppercuts with the lead hand. So, because that's why I said, y'all gotta go to gyms, man, because I need to holler at gyms about it, because that's what I'll be thinking. I'll be thinking about gyms when I be thinking of this shit. Because I be seeing that with Shakur. Like, Shakur gonna stand with the leg, he gonna do that little shit. Shakur just gonna go, bap. I can't show, I want to show y'all, but I can't. But, Loma, you cannot beat those dudes. You cannot beat them. It's just not gonna happen. It'll be a good fight for the most part, but no. I think you should go for undisputed, if you can get it, and retire and be done. Even if you still got the spark and all that shit, you do not have to take that punishment. You've proven yourself enough, bro. You have nothing to prove. Because at that point, people just gonna want to fight you to get a check. And I don't want you to go out in your career like that. You feel me? Personally. But you do what you want. It's just me to you, cuz. But Loma, you cannot beat Devin Haney or Shakur. You cannot beat them. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry, but you cannot beat them. For real. Shout out Boxing Gyms. I was just, since I was talking about you so much in the vid, man, shout out to Boxing Gyms, man. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, man, go subscribe to Boxing Gyms, man. And the Mac Mob, baby! Holla at your boy, man. 100.